What's good, YouTube? We back with another video, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get your drums sounding right. So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the drum kits that I use, where I get them from, how to get them into Serato Studio if you're on Serato Studio, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how I come up with drum patterns. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So as you see, we're on Serato Studio, and if you never used Serato Studio, to access your drums is pretty easy. Just click over in the bottom left corner, you got drums, and your drums should be right here, all your drum kits. So if they're not right here, go over to your drum kit, and for this example, I'm going to be using Slappy Drums 3, and there's a quick way to do it, and then there's a tedious way to be organized. So the quick way is going to be just like this. Take it and just drop it in. Bam. Crate 1. You have all the drums in that drum kit in that file. You could rename it to, Slappy Drums 3, but I already have it right here. And then the tedious way to do it will be to click this little box right here, add crate. It's gonna say crate 1. You can name it Slappy. Then you can add, just add 3. We're gonna name these to kick, bam, snare, oops, and then hi-hat right there. We're gonna put all these into Slappy. Bam, bam, bam. I know it's really tedious, but this is the way that I do it. And then we're gonna go over to our drum kit, and we're gonna get all the kicks right here and drag them in. Bam. Now our kick quarters right here. Then we're gonna go down and get our snares. Drop them in here. Bam. Our snares are up in there now. And get our hi-hats. And bam. Right here. Hi-hat folder is empty. Now it's full with hi-hats. And vice versa. For the shakers, for the percussions, for the effect sounds. It's pretty simple. It's a little tedious, but that's the only way that I can do it. But let's get back with the video. So for this video, I'm gonna just be using Ninth Wonder drums. I use this all the time, and yeah. Usually, I start off with the kick. The kick is the backbone of the beat. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. So find a solid kick, one that knocks, and one that has the sound that you're looking for. That one sounds perfect. So that's the kick. Now let's find a nice little snare. Sometimes you might want to play with the kick. I'm not finding one. So let's go ahead and go over to another drum kit. Let's use Iman Omari's. He has one of the best snares that I've ever heard, so I'm gonna use that. We can use this one, or let's see, it's another one. Forgot which one. Snare 40. There we go. 40. There we go. We got some decent sounding drums. That snare is snapping. That kick is kicking. Now let's get a hi-hat. Let's mix it up. Let's go to Ultimate Boom Bap. Go over to hi-hats. Oh, it's in percussions. Let's see. Alright, so we got a hi-hat. So I panned it over to the left a little bit, as you can see, and I also took out all the lows and added a high pass filter just to make it a little bit more crispy. I left the snare regular and the kick regular. I could add some bass to it just to make it, knock a little harder. But yeah. Let's try to get one more sound just to spice things up. We're gonna go for like a percussion. So let's go to Slappy Drums 3. And let's see, percussions. That sounds cool. Alright. Let's turn it up a little bit. Now for the programming part. So we're gonna start off with our hi-hats, add a snare, and then add a kick. There's a few rules that I follow, but yeah, it's nothing crazy. So let's get started. That ain't really what I'm looking for. It don't really sound right, so I'm gonna just keep playing until I get it perfectly. And I'm always playing with the metronome on just for a guide, and then once I got the hi-hats down, I turn it off. So let's get started. There we go. Alright, and let's lay the snares down. Alright. So one rule that I'm always following is the snare has to either hit the 2 or the 4 or both. So let me show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and record that, and then we're gonna lay the kick. Alright. Hold up. So say I'm going through beat block and I can't really get down some drums. One thing that I do to easily get a drum pattern is just put a kick on a 1 and listen. Alright. And just play what you feel. Alright. So we got the snares, we got the kicks, and we got the hi-hats. We got the snares hitting on a 2 and a 4, and we got the kicks hitting. So that could be the drum pattern right there. We could spice it up a little bit, move some things around, and make this drum pattern a little bit more unique. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So first things first, I'm going to add this percussion, and I'm going to try to play the percussion on the kick so it can sound a little bit more crunchy. Alright, let's try to get it, let's try to get one more sound. Let's see, we're going to try to go for like a cymbal. So we can go over to the ultimate boom bap and then go over to, I believe it's in percussions as well. And it should be like ride. Let's see. I don't see it. Maybe it's in Ninth Wonder. I think they got some cymbals. Yep. We're gonna go for this one. And we're gonna turn it down. And we're gonna change the key shift a little bit. Alright, so that's sounding cool. Now we can easily just lay some keys over it. So let's see what we can get. And just like that, we got a whole little beat right here. We got a nice little loop, and we got the drums, we got some keys, and we got a bass line. So let me show you guys another way that you can get some nice little drums, and that's by using a drum break. So sampling drum breaks are a great way to get some drums that really fit together, because usually these drums are from the same drum set. So let me show you guys a nice little example of how I do that. So we're going to be using the Michael Jackson Billie Jean drum break, and this is what it sounds like. Alright, that's enough of that. Not trying to get copyrighted. But yeah, let's just jump right into this. Alright, so we just deleted all the chops, and now let's go ahead and duplicate this 2 times so we can have a total of 3 different channels. We're going to have a channel for the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat. Let's go ahead and get to work. So first we're going to find a kick. Let's find a kick that doesn't have too many highs, sounds decent, and doesn't have the least amount of sounds playing in the background. So let's see what we can find. So all of them sound pretty much the same. So we're just going to choose any one. Let me get that one, and I'm going to hit 1 so I can be on 1. So now we're going to go ahead and cut off the tail right there. We don't want this hi-hat playing in the background. So now whenever we hit the kick, it stops. Let's go ahead and smoothen out that tail and make the release. Yeah. Let's see. Make the release about 1 second. Let's see. 1 second should be good. 1.3. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and add a low pass filter to make that bass. Make that kicks have a little bit more bass, and we're gonna raise the low end. There we go. It's already coming together. Let's put the release down a little bit, just like that. We're gonna get another EQ in a minute, and then work on that kick a little bit more. But now let's go ahead and get a snare. I was listening to the snares as well when I was listening for the kick, so I know they all pretty much sound the same. So let's go ahead and do the same thing that we did for the kick. Get that tail, raise the release a little bit, and there we go, we got it. Oops. That snare now sounds pretty straight, so we don't have to do much of that. Now let's get a nice little hi-hat, and we'll be all set. Alright, hi-hat right there. Okay. There we go, sounding right. Let's just raise up the highs a little bit and take out the bass, because I hear some bass in that. There we go. Now that hi-hat sounding pretty crispy. Let's go ahead and lower it down by like 3. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. And just like how we did for the first drums, let's start off with the hi-hat. Alright. Oh, metronome is not playing. There we go. Alright. Okay, let's go over to the snares channel and lay down the snare on a 2 or the 4, or we can do both. Let's try to do something a little bit different. So you guys can't hear what I'm hearing, obviously, but in my head, I'm listening to the drum pattern before I even play it down, so I can know how it's gonna sound. So this is the sound that I'm hearing, and let's go ahead and get these kicks down and try to get them sounding right. But first off, let's make this kick have a little bit more bass. So we're gonna go over to plugins, and I'm gonna get a graphic EQ real quick, and I'm gonna lay it down. So let's see, graphic EQ, lay it on a kick. Let's do 10 bands. We don't need that much control over this. And there we go. Get some of those sub frequencies. And let's go ahead and just do this. There we go. That's the sound that I'm looking for. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up these drums. We got the kick sounding right. Just with the EQ, as you guys can see, just took out the highs, raised the lows, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So first off, we're gonna rehearse the kick drum, and then we're gonna record it. There we go. Alright, so that's sounding right. So let's try to make these a little bit more interesting. It's a little boring right now. So what I'm going to do is duplicate these hi-hats. We're going to duplicate the hi-hats and try to make these hi-hats go double time. So let's see. One thing that we can do that. Bam. And bam. Alright, so I'll put that back down. And all I'm gonna do, so we got the duplicated hi-hats right here, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just slide them to the right a little bit. So let's go ahead and get that sound right there. Do the same thing. Bam. Sounding exactly the same. So now let's go ahead and move these hi-hats, shift them to the right a little bit, and that's gonna, you're gonna hear it. Let's see. So now we got something going on in the background. So I duplicated the hi-hats and I shifted them to the right a little bit, and then I lowered them down. So that just makes it sound like the hi-hats are going double time, and it just spicens up the drums a little bit. So let's go ahead and try to get a snare roll going. So we got a snare roll right here, and all I did was just play it right next to this snare. We can go ahead and lower the velocity just to make it a little bit quieter. It's going to be a little bit more realistic, like a real life snare roll. And you know what? I actually want to move this snare. So let's delete it and let's play it again. Now let's leave like this. And now we got a simple drum pattern from this Michael Jackson drum break. Let's go ahead and lay some keys and see what we can get. So we got a nice little chord pattern going on. Let's go ahead and turn on a compressor, and let's see what we can get. Alright, you guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully now you guys have a better understanding on how to make your drums fit a little bit better and how to make them just sound better in general. If you guys are interested in getting some better swing, making your drums sound a lot more swingy, go ahead and click the video that just popped up, and that's a full tutorial on that. But without further ado, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm trying to get the 5K. We about to zoom past 2K. We about to zoom past 3, 4. We about to go straight to 5. So do me a big favor, subscribe and share this video and share this channel. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out, you guys.